Yeah, I just had to delete a bunch of videos. They're not allowing me to create new videos and upload them. And I was talking about a knight of faith, and that's what I am. And I was talking about murdering somebody who's a federal officer if they're violating your civil rights. And you're supposed to be able to get away with that because they're trying to murder you. And I told you it was open season on me and my intellectual property. It's no more. There is no more of that. And Jason Clifton, you need to send the masters to my family. And you better do it. Because if I ever see you, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see who walks out of the room, who leaves the room alive. I'm not kidding around. I have to talk like that. Why? Because I'm developing characters here. And some of the greatest things that I've said, I've said them out of anger, out of happiness, right? Are you ready to have the conversation about Robin Williams? You want to have that conversation about Robin Williams and John Belushi? Right? It's like that song by the Black Crowes, Seeing Things for the First Time. That's what happens when you reach a certain age. And Robin Williams cannot be Nanu Nanu. And Robin Williams was not suffering from depression. He wasn't suffering from anything that they told you about in the newspapers. He was on another cycle of his life, and he cannot be Mrs. Doubtfire in that cycle of his life. You saw some of the films he did, some of the last films he did. He fell in love with a LGBT young hustler, right? Male hustler, and he was doing 1 hour photo, and those are the kind of films he was doing. You see that? Right? Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Okay, so I mentioned people by name, like Melissa Villaseñor. I think she's so pretty and talented. Like, she's like an art teacher in school that you're just like, she's kind of earthy, she's kind of funny, but she's your art teacher. And then in May, right? In the month of May, right before you're going to be let out of school because you know you're getting out in June, and the light's coming through the window of your classroom, and she's wearing something because it's kind of hot out. You can kind of see through it. She's your teacher. I'm talking about Melissa. She does stand-up. And she's wearing something kind of loose, and you can like kind of see, and you're like the kid in the class, and you're like, damn, she's fucking hot. You realize she's hot, right? It's like, hey, Mrs. McGillicuddy, you took your glasses off and let your hair down. I didn't know you were beautiful. I had no idea. Right? As I said, man, it's about your intellectual acumen. Right? That's what it's about. And displaying your knowledge. That's what the future is about. It's not about embracing idiocracy. And it's not about, right, embracing dumbness. It's about embracing your intellect. And you don't have to get your intellect from a school. Universities, we're talking about masculine and feminine. Universities and schools are feminine. What do they use? They use NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. That is part of spellcraft, which is part of witchcraft, which is part of feminine, which is part of sadistic. Because being a sadist is feminine. Being a martyr is masculine. And being an autodidact and going our own way is masculine. Starting your own channel, doing a lecture like I'm doing. I just said that last episode. Look at Popeye. That's what we're talking about. Robin Williams. That movie was a fail. And it wasn't a fail for anybody's reason that they know it to be a fail. It just didn't strike the zeitgeist at the time. That's all. Nobody wanted to see it. Right? But it was an intellectual property that they thought that they could make money on. And it was Harry Nilsson. 2 people died in Harry Nilsson's apartment. Right? So when I say Dropkick's Law, right, it's because I know about police corruption, and not all police are corrupt. I'm not talking about your regular guy. That's what I understand something on a visceral level, guys. Being a bureaucrat on a visceral level. I understand it. And they're not all bureaucrats. Like I said, in LA 44, okay, he has to be a sheriff, right? It's like, pink mist. Ooh, from Mountain Dew, pink mist. Sponsored by David Fincher. Sponsoring David Fincher's latest horror movie, Pink Mist. Right? Take a look at some of those Mountain Dew titles, flavors. A new one's going to be called Pink Mist. You'll see. Anyways, right? Oh, snot comes out of my nose. So he's going to be a sheriff because he has to go outside the jurisdiction. Well, guess what? He might make friends with somebody on LAPD. And the guy's like, no, I'm going with you. He's like, well, you don't have any jurisdiction here. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. Well, if you break the law, you can't arrest anybody. You shoot somebody, you're like a citizen. Okay, I'll take that chance. And the sheriff's like, holy shit, this guy's fucking for real. And he's LAPD all the way, true and blue. Just like Andy Garcia in right? In The Untouchables. Remember Andy Garcia? He's like, who the fuck are you? Click, and he puts his fucking he's like, oh, I like this kid. I like him a lot, right? That's right. He's got moxie, like me. That's right.